Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're looking at a pretty fundamental shift in how we approach our hard-earned time off. We are moving way beyond the mechanical act of simply booking a trip. I mean, anyone can click a few buttons online and book a cruise, right? But what we're exploring today is the philosophy of designing a true, unforgettable experience. We're going to unpack this whole concept of luxury cruising reimagined and see how changing your approach to travel can completely transform the way you see the world.
So, who's actually driving this philosophy? Well, it's Mechelle Stafford. She's a luxury cruise specialist and the founder of Exquisite Voyages. And what's really cool is that Mechelle brings this rare, incredibly unique toolkit to travel planning. First off, she's a veteran, which means she brings immense discipline, structure, and just this relentless attention to detail. She's also a former educator, giving her that distinct ability to plan, guide, and really simplify highly complex decisions. Add to that her perspective as an empty nester who's redefining life through experiences, and you get someone who sees travel not just as logistics, but as an absolute art form.
Honestly, take a second and really think about this. What if your vacations felt effortless, elevated, and entirely yours? Think back to your last big trip. Did you actually feel completely relaxed leading up to it? Or, were you totally stressed out managing flight times, hotel transfers, dinner reservations, the whole shebang? Imagine a completely seamless alternative. What if every single detail was handled for you, and the entire journey was crafted specifically to become part of your personal story? That is the elevated experience we're talking about today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The DIY travel trap. 2. Travel versus curated experience. 3. The concierge process. 4. Dispelling myths. 5. Top luxury lines. And finally, 6. Travel as storytelling.
Starting with Section 1, the DIY travel trap, and what most people actually experience.
Right, so you sit down at your computer, you're super excited to plan a getaway, and suddenly you have 50 tabs open. Your browser looks like a modern art masterpiece of anxiety. Because of this massive volume of choices, so many of us just end up settling for generic, one-size-fits-all trips simply to get the planning over with. But here's where it really hurts. Doing it yourself means you're likely missing out on upgrades and hidden value that literally only industry insiders know about. It's incredibly time-consuming, and at the end of the day, you're left with a huge lack of personalization. It's a frustrating trap that leaves busy professionals and empty nesters completely exhausted before they even pack their bags.
Which brings us to this absolutely crucial realization. Luxury shouldn't feel complicated, it should feel seamless. If you're stressing out trying to manage the logistics of your own luxury vacation, well, you aren't actually experiencing luxury yet. True luxury is the complete absence of friction. It's about letting an expert concierge planner step in so you can just focus on the anticipation of the journey.
Moving to Section 2, travel versus curated experience, or as I like to call it, the smartest way to do this.
There is a massive night and day difference between just booking travel and actually designing an experience. See, travel is what you book online. It dumps you in standard cabins with a basic itinerary and a whole lot of DIY stress. An experience, however, is designed intentionally. It places you in curated accommodations tailored specifically to your taste, with a personalized flow, all wrapped up in concierge-level service. When you work with a specialist like Exquisite Voyages, you aren't just getting a generic list of options. No way. You're getting precise recommendations curated entirely for you. And the core of that idea is summarized perfectly right here. Luxury cruising is not an expense. It's efficiency with elegance. Think about it. You unpack exactly once, yet you wake up in a new, breathtaking destination every single day. You get this incredible built-in value through elevated dining, personalized service with unbelievable crew-to-guest ratios, and exclusive access to shore excursions and private spaces. When it's done correctly, the value is baked right into the experience itself. Let's look at Section 3, inside the concierge process, from idea to departure. So how does this actually work? Well, it's a highly structured, detail-obsessed 6-step process. Step 1 is a discovery call. Hop in on the phone to truly listen and learn your specific travel style. Then comes Step 2, a custom proposal where all those elevated details are thoughtfully layered in. Step 3 is the actual booking and securing those insider upgrades I mentioned earlier. Step 4, comprehensive pre-trip preparation, making absolutely sure you are 100% ready to go. Now, Step 5 is absolutely crucial, on-trip support. Remember, when you DIY, you have to advocate for yourself, but a specialist advocates for you while you're traveling. And finally, Step 6 is the post-trip follow-up. This high-touch communication guarantees that from the very first idea to well after you've unpacked at home, every single detail is handled.
All right, Section 4, Dispelling Luxury Cruise Myths. Let's clear this up once and for all. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. Myth number 1, luxury cruising is only for retirees. Actually, scratch that. It is completely false. It's for busy professionals who value their time, couples seeking reconnection, and solo travelers wanting a real reset. Myth number 2, it's just too expensive. Here we really have to look at value versus cost. The inclusions and that total lack of stress, they provide a massive return on your investment. And myth number 3, I can find better deals online. Trying to DIY online actually costs you in the long run. You miss out on unadvertised perks, exclusive access, expert itinerary matching, and that critical lifeline of support if something goes wrong. Trust me, the expertise pays for itself.
Section 5, Top Recommended Luxury Lines. Let's talk about who actually delivers on this promise. To ensure these elevated, totally stress-free experiences, Mechelle is certified in and recommends a very specific tier of cruise lines. We're talking Silversea, Regent Seven Seas, MSC Yacht Club, Princess, and for river cruising, AMAWaterways. These lines are selected for a reason. They go way beyond the basics. They provide true suite-level experiences, jaw-dropping personalized service, fine dining with beautifully curated menus, and deep cultural enrichment, like private tours and exclusive wine tastings. Basically, they are the perfect canvas on which a truly great trip is painted.
And finally, Section 6, Travel as Storytelling. Let's look at the creative angle.
I love this framework. Think about every trip as a brand new chapter in your life. Every destination you visit is a vivid scene, and every single curated experience, whether it's a private anniversary dinner, an excursion for a solo reset, or a bucket list cultural immersion, it acts as a memory anchor. This is really about emotional reconnection with yourself and your partner. It's about celebrating those big life milestones without the friction and heavy lifting of travel stress.
Bringing it all back to the Exquisite Voyages philosophy, how you travel matters just as much as where you go. The destination on the map, that's really only half the equation. Having an expert guide intentionally design your journey is exactly what elevates a simple vacation into this reimagined travel philosophy. It ensures the how is just as spectacular as the where.
I want to just let this powerful sentiment from Mechelle linger for a second. I hope you create stories you'll tell for the rest of your life. At its absolute core, travel shouldn't just be about snapping a memorable photo for social media. It should be about how you feel while you're experiencing it, and the lasting narrative you bring back home to share with the people you love.
Which leaves us with this final, really vital question. How do you want your next chapter to be written? Are you going to go back to the overwhelming, stressful DIY planning, or are you ready to embrace an intentionally designed concierge-level experience? The choice is entirely yours, but the potential for your next great story is waiting. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, here's to traveling effortlessly.